The Cabinet Office announced today that an official funeral will be held for former Minister of National Security and Member of Parliament for Bains and Grantstown, Dr. Bernard Nottage, this Friday, July 14th at 11 a.m. at St. Agnes Anglican Church on Blue Hill Road. The interment will follow at the Lakeview Memorial Gardens and Mausoleums on John F. Kennedy Drive. Dr. Nottage's body will lie in state in the foyer of the House of Assembly starting at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning until the 13th, and when the body departs for the church on Friday. Public viewing will take place between 12 noon and 6 p.m. tomorrow. Family members, friends, and Progressive Liberal Party supporters, meantime, reflected on the life of the fallen surgeon, sporting giant, and politician during a memorial last evening. LaDawn Davis reports from the PLP's Farrington Road headquarters.
It was a somber moment for family members and supporters of the Progressive Liberal Party as they paid their final tributes and reminisced on the long and fruitful life and work of a stellar athlete, politician, nation builder, and a hero to many, Dr. the Honorable Bernard Jonathan Nottage, during a memorial service at the PLP headquarters last night. A prominent surgeon, Dr. the Honorable Bernard Nottage represented the Bahamas on many levels, particularly in sports, the medical profession, and politics. Nottage heeded a bigger call to serve his country and became the Minister of Health, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, and Minister of National Security under the Progressive Liberal Party before his demise on June 28th. Former Prime Minister, party leader, and best friend, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, described Dr. Nottage as a gifted obstetrician, excellent writer, and thinker who would not subject anyone to shame. Mr. Christie said his colleagues knew the undying love and trust he had in and for Dr. Nottage and reminisced on his final encounters with his fallen friend.
Love you, my brother. You've always made me proud. As I sat next to you in Parliament, there were times when I knew you were laboring, but I knew if you wanted me to know, you would tell me. And you know that as long as I was there, I was for you. My brother, you have the time to be in heaven. You assured me of that when I was in the room with you, that you were at peace with yourself.
Former Senator and Minister of State for National Security Keith Bell says he owes his small stint in politics to Dr. Nottage, who was his confidant, mentor, advisor, and family medical doctor. Bell says there were many questions raised as to why Nottage made his final attempt to offer himself in the May 10th general elections, and also talked about the instrumental role he played in the implementation of the National Intelligence Agency.
Made it a point to come out to support Perry Gladstone Christie. I am satisfied, I am convinced, having worked with this gentle of a giant, that he and Perry Christie formed such a bond that he had to be there on the side of Perry Gladstone Christie. He wasn't going to let Mr. Christie run in the general election by himself. Dr. Nottage introduced and set up this National Intelligence Agency. We had an incident in the harbor which threatened the national security of the country and our bread and butter. And so when the current government decided to disband the National Intelligence Agency, Dr. Nottage called me because he felt so strong and he felt so bad about it. And he knew if he had asked me about it, I was going to make a statement, which I did.
Longtime friend and sports colleague Leslie Miller noted that Jay, as he knew him best, is a national hero who should be honored posthumously for putting service for people, his party, and his country above self.
Let us thank him for the 71 years that he gave him to this country. And I would hope that as a gesture of good faith and as a gesture of respect for a Bahamian who dedicated his life to our country, that this new government would see fit to name that newly constructed building that is next to the Paul Adley building on Thompson Boulevard, that is supposed to house the Ministry of National Security, that they would name that in his honor. I hope that they're big enough to do so.
An official funeral for the late Dr. the Honorable Bernard Nottage will take place at St. Agnes Anglican Church on Friday. LaDawn Davis, ZNS Network News.